Did anybody else know that there was a live-action Outlast 2 video game adaptation on the scene? Yeah, me either.
Before we get started, hit the like button, subscribe, and hit the bell for more content in the future.
What's up? Welcome to Destination Station. As always, I'm Destin. I had just had the opportunity to watch the new Paranormal Activity film, The Next Kin. What is this, number 7 in the entry? I've lost count by now. It's been a while since we had a Paranormal Activity. I think the last one was the Ghost Dimension or something of that nature. Wasn't a big fan of that one. Wasn't that bad, but it just wasn't scary and it didn't keep with the mythology. And just like, you know, a lot of these like found footage movies, you know, like Blair Witch Project or, you know, like Paranormal Activity, Wreck. One of these, you know, handheld style type movies. Once you see the creature, you're kind of like not scared anymore. So like it's what you don't see is what's scary. Leave it up to the imagination. And that's what Paranormal Activity 1 did the best. And 2 was okay. 3 was pretty good when they were little girls. 4, after 4 or 5, what is it, 6? And then there was one like, what was it, the marked ones where they were in the hood or something. Like yeah, it was fun, but it wasn't scary. At this point in the game of this franchise, we should know that. Sorry, my camera was tilting a little bit. We should know that these aren't real, right? When the first film was marketed, it was marketed as it was real phenomenon. It was real paranormal activity going on, and it was a very small. Oh shit! I think I got paranormal activity going on in my house right now. You guys all right? That was genius. That was a genius film. It actually really did scare me, and what you didn't see, there was like moments of just like them just being in their room, in their house, and the camera's set up, and they know that there's something going on, and just seeing little doors moving, or you hear footsteps, and then like and then you hear like a big like a big roar. That scared the shit out of me when I saw it in cinemas for the first time. If you do recall, in the first Paranormal Activity, I remember them putting down like baby powder or salt or something like that, and you see hooves, you know, like for the demon, and you find out it's not a ghost, it's actually a demon, Toby or whatever. They find that out in the future sequels. But when Paranormal Activity, the Ghost Dimension came out, that demon did not have hooves. It wasn't what we imagined, and I think that's where the movie and the franchise started going downhill, is that they weren't leaving anything up for the imagination. They were showing us way too much, and they were trying to be too Hollywood with it. That's okay. That's what happens with horror films. But with this film that just came out, Paranormal Activity, The Next Kin, I honestly forgot. I remember seeing the trailer for this, but I forgot it was coming out this weekend. I thought maybe it would have came out next year or something like that, but I was highly surprised that it came out on Paramount Plus. You can go watch this right now if you're a Paramount Plus member. And it's directed by William Eubank. This is a different director. It's a different approach as well to the Paranormal Activity franchise. I think he directed Underwater. That was that movie where they were underwater. But I mean, he's a fairly good technical filmmaker. Has some good titles under his belt. But this film is kind of like camera documentary style, but also at times it feels like it's like a movie, like a theatrical cinematic movie. So it's like a blend of the two. But you also got these drone shots with the drones because, all right, let's just get into it. You have this young lady that is trying to find out where she came from. She goes to this farm that she meets. I think his name is Samuel. Samuel reaches out to her and on like a knockoff of Ancestry.com. And Margot is our main protagonist, and she's followed by two friends, Chris and Dale, and they're kind of like the cameraman and the audio guy with the boom mic and everything, and they're friends, and they're going to document her experience, unraveling her history, her background. Where does she come from? Because all she knows is that her mother dropped her off. I think it was on a sidewalk or on. I don't really know where they dropped her off, but she has video footage of her just being dropped off by her mother, and she never knew what happened. So once Samuel actually was a part of this Amish community, he decided that they get a. At a certain point, something I'm paraphrasing here, but they get something like a year away from the community to be able to experience the world. And during that time, he reached out to Margot, and so that struck her interest to know more. She's always wanted to know more about her mom and where she came from, because she has no one. She has adopted parents, but we don't see them or anything. So they set out on this journey to go to this community with Samuel. Chris, Dale accompany her, and when they get there, they don't know what to expect. So it slowly unravels. There's a good amount of mystery in this one that the other films did lack. I mean, they all had like a little bit of mystery, but this one has a little bit more. This one has a little bit of like an adventure feel to it, but it's still, honestly, I have to say, I'm gonna say right now, I actually was pleasantly surprised with this movie. Yeah, there was a few times with the dialogue, especially with the comedy relief in the movie, which is Dale. I did like his character, but I felt like, and it's not his fault, he did his job, but they broke the tension way too many times throughout the movie. They kept using some comedy. It was like a little bit of a tension moment and then something funny. A little bit of a tension moment and then something funny. It was like they did it way too often, and not every comedic line landed. But you know, that's a small complaint. That's known for a horror movie to have a comedy relief character. But they slowly unravel the mystery of what's going on and the history of Margot and her mother. And this film goes in directions that the other films have not. And while I was watching it, I couldn't help but think, and I remember thinking it a while back when I saw the trailer, that has anyone ever played the game Outlast 2? Like, there was Outlast, and it was like a camcorder game. Really good. You're like in an insane asylum trying to find your way out. You didn't have any weapons. All you had was your camera and infrared, and you're trying to find your way out, and these crazy people and creatures and stuff are chasing after you. Well, the second one was a village, Outlast 2, and you're running around. That's what this movie gave me the vibes of. A little bit of a Resident Evil 4, Resident Evil Village type feel, mixed with Outlast 2. A little bit of a more adventure feel, like everything you see in the trailer is just barely scratching the surface, because this place goes to places that I wasn't expecting. I wasn't expecting to have really high tension moments. I thought it was going to be very Hollywood style, and then it is at times. It really is, but it's done in a certain way that it's actually really good. I'm pleasantly surprised. This is one of the better horror titles we've had all year. And it's a shame that it didn't go to theaters. I see that they put it on Paramount Plus, and I understand with everything that's going on, but I really think that this might have made some money in the theaters. Like, I think it was worthy of that. But if you're like I said, a Paramount Plus member, you can go watch this right now, and I highly recommend it because it was really enjoyable. Me, my wife, and my kids, we all sat down and watched it. You know, it's the night before Halloween, and we wanted something spooky, and I was like, oh, that came out. Well, let's check it out. You know, what else do we have to do? You know, so and honestly, it was really decent. I don't want to give away too many spoilers in this review, because I think the less you know about this movie, the better. If you've only seen the trailer, you're okay, because it's really not giving away anything. It does leave off on a little bit of a cliffhanger, like they're setting up a sequel. if I had to say any negatives about the movie, it's that I wanted a little bit more tie-in to the original Paranormal Activity. I kind of have an idea, and I'm going to talk about spoilers right here. So I'm going to put spoilers up here on the screen. So if you don't want to know any details about this movie and you want to go watch it and come back and watch this review, you can. But this is your warning. This is spoilers right here. I'm starting to suspect, if you've seen Paranormal Activity 1 and 2, where she comes in and she steals the baby. I'll put an image up here to remind you. I'm suspecting that Margot is that baby, possibly. I don't know who else she could be. I don't know if they're just throwing on Paranormal Activity as a marketing stunt, you know, like oh, we have this idea for a found footage movie, but if you put Paranormal Activity on the front of your movie, on the poster, it's going to sell more money. That could be the case here, but I hope it does tie more into the original Paranormal Activity, at least the first 2 or 3. And I was kind of wanting to see a little bit more of a conclusion in this one, but it does leave off on a cliffhanger, and it does look like there will be a sequel. But I'm telling you, the last 30 minutes of this movie, I was on the edge of my seat. I was having a lot of fun. There's this creepy ass church. I mean, there's a lot of creepy stuff in here. She's with this family, and you know, they're not supposed to be about electronics. They're you know, vanity is a sin for them, so they don't want to be on screen or anything like that. So a lot of the stuff they're doing secretly. She finds hidden rooms. She hears from a little girl that her mom is still on this farm. So you know that something ain't right. And it slowly creeps in there. It takes about an hour of this like eerie creepiness going on, and then about the last 30 minutes of the movie, it just really kicks off. And there's like this church out in the middle of nowhere, and there's like this like hole, like this just hole in the ground, and you know, you don't know what's down there. They kind of hide a lot from you, and when she's like going down in this hole with the GoPro, it's really intense. It kind of reminded me of like The Ring a little bit, or something like The Descent, like, you know, going through a cave. Really cool stuff. Like, this was probably the best sequel they've had since Paranormal Activity 3. I need to watch 1, 2, and 3 again, but you know, 1's always going to be the best. That's what started it all. But this was actually a fairly decent horror movie, even if it's just on its own, without the name Paranormal Activity. This was like pretty damn good. Just there's a few little things in the script that you know, we could have done without. They could have toned it back a little bit. But if you are a fan of these movies, especially found footage like Blair Witch Project, Wreck, any of these movies, Cloverfield, or anything like this, I think this is going to be right down your alley. I think they did a really good job. It's not a perfect film. There are some flaws with it, but from the shit that we've been getting lately, this was a pleasant surprise, and I'm glad I watched it tonight. And I wanted to jump on here and just make a quick little review about it since it's fresh on my mind. So yeah, check it out. It's you know, there's supposed to be an Amish family out in the woods. That's all I'm going to tell you about that. There are a few twists along the way. Just throw some popcorn in your face, have a good time, watch it with some friends and family, and you know, enjoy the holiday season, enjoy Halloween season. This is the perfect time. We have so much content out right now. I'm like trying to play catch up right now. There's so much out. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna say about this movie. If I had to rate this movie, I would give it a B-. It's actually, I could see myself watching this one again, and I'm curious of where the sequel's gonna go. I hope it's successful. I hope they make enough money. I hate that it's not in theaters. I think it really is worthy to be in theaters, but I hope we get a sequel to this, a follow-up. I hope they don't just go in a totally different direction, you know, because that's like the last few ones. They just like, you know, the Ghost Dimension or the marked ones and stuff like that, and they never follow up with those. And you know, with this one, it seems like this may be a new trilogy or just a new franchise with next of kin. Just the way it leaves off, you know, it leaves off differently than the other films I've left off. So yeah, that's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to say any more spoilers. That's it. Go watch it. Paramount Plus. Come back. Let me know what you think about it. I want to know what everyone's thinking about. Do you like this movie? Do you see potential here in this direction, or do you hate this direction? Do you want to get back to just simple, just camera in an apartment or in a house and just keep it like secluded? Because this one is a little bit more, out on the farmland and exploring a little bit more and stuff like that. So yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna quit rambling. Hope everyone has a happy Halloween. Check out Paranormal Activity Next to Kin and come back and let me know what you think about it if you haven't seen it yet. So yeah, this is Destination Station. As always, I'm Destin, and everyone have a happy Halloween. See you next time. Peace.
Hello, sinners. It is I, Father Evil, and I invite you to Destination Station on YouTube.